know he's just super passionate in everything that he does. Not to give too much away, but he's just really focused on our defense. Kind of talk to him a bit about his coaching style, a bit about what he's looking to do with the team, and pretty stoked for the direction he's going to be taking it. Bleed purple!
Bleed purple. Bleed purple.
FC fans, and welcome into OCFC Happy Hour with Coach Vinnie Vasilevski. Coach, how's it going?
Going great, Mitch. How are you?
Doing pretty well. Thanks for joining us tonight. This should be some fun as we got some questions that were pre-prepared that we sent to you over to take a look at. We're also going to be getting plenty of questions from Twitch as people are watching along with us here. So should be fun, exciting, good to get together and at least talk something positive, right? It's been a lot of bad news everywhere you look lately. So it's nice to talk about something fun.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for this. I think it'll be a fun night.
And I know I've got a beer. You said you have some. What are you drinking on tonight?
Angel's Envy bourbon.
All right, Angel's Envy. It's been a while since I've been to the store, so I am at the bottom of the barrel in terms of my stock. I'm drinking natural beer, but we'll make do with it. It's Friday night. Should be some fun.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Let's start out with some easy questions. Some questions. We'll give the fans just a better idea of who you are as a person, because of course you're new to the club and we haven't really gotten to know you too much yet. So the first question that I have for you, the times that we have seen you in public, you're a pretty fresh guy, dapper, you dressed up. So I need to know if you're the type that's going to be wearing a suit on the sideline, or what's your wardrobe like on the sideline?
When I'm coaching, I kind of like to mix it up. Depends on the situation. I mean, it's hot outside. I try to avoid the suit. I try to kind of just rep the team colors, casual. Maybe a big game or first game might wear the suit, might rock the suit. But if I get fancy on the sideline, it's usually khakis or denim with the blazer. I usually won't go full out suit unless it's big time. So if we're playing for something big, then I might rock it out. But I'll mix it up. I'd probably go casual, sporty. I mix it up. I don't just stay one way. I think it's good to change up the appearance.
Agree with you there. So what you're saying is we need to get you some big games so you can really show us what you're working.
Yeah, and I better hope I pick the right guy. So if you guys are listening, better get it done.
What does your pregame routine look like?
Pre-game, I just like to keep the guys relaxed. Probably have before the game, like about an hour or 45 minutes before the game, I just have the captains get the guys warmed up, stretched out, and then literally I just keep the guys relaxed, move the ball around. There's not a lot of cones before the game. I just want them to relax and just kind of get ready for the game. Pass and move, take a few touches, just get comfortable on the ball. The last thing I like to do is have someone feel that tense before a game. I like to be very free-flowing and relaxed before the game.
Okay. What are some of the things that you do on road trips?
Man, road trips. I mean, I haven't been on one since college, but I mean, if we're playing, just make sure the guys eat healthy, right? I mean, I know back in the day it used to be Olive Garden, never-ending pasta bowl. Get back to the place, talk, have some fun. I think it's good to tell stories and about past experiences. That's what I did when I was coaching in college. You just kind of go through past stories, either crazy ones, experiences. Just kind of lets the guys know that you've been where they've been. And I think that's important. So sharing life stories on road trips is probably my favorite thing to do.
Who are some of the other coaches that you look up to and have really modeled modeled yourself after what they have done?
Man, I have a lot of people that I look up to. Chris Kortag, he was my coach at Eisenhower High School, legendary coach, Hall of Fame coach. Brian Doyle coached me at Michigan Wolves. Coach Mukhtar at De La Salle, even though he wasn't my coach, I just learned a lot from him in the past few years, just talking to him. Coach Josh Dyke, and definitely Doug Carter at Northwood took me in, really helped me get through school and do a good job. So took a little bit of from everybody. You know, Doug had a hell of a personality, really knew how to get attention of everyone, and did a great job recruiting. Coach Corteg, Coach Mukhtar, Coach Doyle, they were just very, very tough is the wrong word. They had very high expectations of me and the people around me. So I really modeled my coaching style after just demanding that perfection. And I know that's kind of a lost art these days, but
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't think I could be where I am without those guys. And definitely a big shout out to Jeff Hodgson out at Nationals. He's been a mentor of mine for a long time and someone I still look to for advice to this day.
I'm right there with you. I think it is a lost art. You talk about just the way that players are being brought up in really any sport in America today. It's just a totally different coaching style. I completely agree with you. I know for my money, it was the coaches that were demanding the most out of me, that were always on me. You know, maybe there was a bit of yelling. That's fine. I responded to that,
Yeah.
and that's really what got the best out of me. So I know that's what I responded best to, and I can totally agree with you there. I think that is a lost art.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I just think if you just coach like everyone else, then what are you going to be? You're just going to be like everyone else. And I think the guys that I named off are guys that kind of broke the mold and did, you know, be you, just be yourself. And you're going to make mistakes along the way. You might cross, you know, peek over that line, maybe not cross, but kind of look over that line that you shouldn't cross, but you're going to do that in anything in your life. So I think just being myself is the only thing I can do.
Continue to get to know you a little better. Do you have any nicknames?
I mean, everyone calls me Vinnie, Vin.
Anything beyond that, though? Anything that
Honestly, I'm actually trying to think. It's actually kind of funny. Man, I'm trying to just go back and think. I mean, not really, honestly. I mean, I think the only funny nickname I ever had is I kind of did it to myself. I was a field goal kicker at Eisenhower,
Okay.
06. So let's see, that's 14 years ago now. And I played soccer, and I was kind of that guy on the football team. I was just kind of quiet. I'm a kicker. I mean, what am I going to do, right?
You were the soccer player on the football team.
Yeah, so I knew my place though, but I had a lot of really good friends. It was an awesome experience, and I just remember, I think it was my first game my senior year. I hit a 51-yard field goal in a game, right? So the next day, the coaches were like, "Oh man, that was a great kick," and I'm like, "Hey, coach, man, I've been sweet for a while. You just haven't noticed." And everyone just started laughing, and they called me Sweetness for that season just as a joke, like because Bo Jackson was Sweetness. I'm like,
Yeah.
It was just one of those moments, but I wouldn't say it like stuck. It kind of just stuck through my senior year, and then just kind of went away. But
great.
I think it's the only time I think I was given a nickname.
That's great. And you were able to give it to yourself in a way.
Yeah, it was just one of those.
That's hard to do.
Yeah, it was one of those cocky moments when I probably shouldn't have been, but everyone laughed at it and thought it was hilarious.
You got away with it in the long
Got
run.
away with it.
What are some of your favorite foods?
I love pizza. I'm a meat guy.
What are some of your favorite places to get a pizza from?
Pizza? Oh man, Hungry Howie's Cajun crust. I don't care what anyone says. That's the bomb.
Okay.
Jets deep dish.
Yeah.
Only the square though. I don't get the round from Jets. I don't mess with the
I've
round.
never once gotten a round pizza from Jets.
Yeah, I don't know how you do that. You get the square, or you don't get anything. That's the deal with Jets. And I like the flatbreads. You know, like not the flatbread, like the really thin crust pizzas from like
crispy.
Randazzo's, Vincent Joe's. They all have all that. I enjoy it. It's delicious.
Okay.
I'm a meat guy though. I like meats like prosciutto, those meat and cheese trays. It's kind of my jam.
Okay.
Steak.
A nice charcuterie spread for you.
Yeah, barbecue. Love barbecue. Shout out to JL's Barbecue and Romeo. That they're the best.
All right. So what have you been doing? I know we don't want to talk too much about what's going on. We want to use this as an escape, but what have you been doing while you're locked inside the house?
Well, I have a job. I do sales, so I've been working from home, spending some time with my daughter. She's 8 months old, so I spent some time with her now, and spent time with my wife. And yeah, I mean, the team's pretty much all set, so there's not really much else to do. I'm just biting to get working.
Yeah.
So really, just spending time with my family, spending time with my daughter, watching movies, punch my punching bag here and there.
Trying
But
to stay active. I know that's been tough for me.
yeah, it's tough. I'll drive around with my daughter in the car, get her to sleep, just drive around, just to see some sunlight.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. Nothing crazy. I mean, keeping it, I actually kept in touch with a lot of old friends from like on Instagram and Facebook, just connecting with them more than I usually have, or cousins that I have overseas that I talk to never. We've now talked more than in this last month than we have in 2 years. So it's good to connect with people that you haven't connected with in a while.
Yeah, definitely. I know what you mean about connecting with different people. It's like it's been a great time to kind of reconnect and reestablish those friendships that maybe slipped through the cracks while we're all so busy. But now we've got
Sure.
all the free time. It's been nice to connect with people again.
Yeah, no doubt.
We've got some questions that are coming in from
Okay.
different people in different areas. So I'm just going to start going through some of those. Nick wants to know, what's your favorite formation to run and why?
Okay. So favorite formation to run, I like running out of a 4-2-3-1. I like that not because of just the rigid formation. I like it because you can do a lot out of it. So if you play 4-2-3-1, you can move that number 10 to forward and go 4-4-2. You can shove your outside mids up the field and go 4-3-3.
Mm-hmm.
You can switch one of the holding mids to go attacking and you go 4-1-4-1. I just think you can do a lot out of it without having to change your whole formation. So I just think it's easy to coach out of it, and it really solidifies your midfield defensively. So I just like the flexibility that I can get out of a 4-2-3-1. You can just do a lot of it. It's very malleable formation. You can change, you can kind of, hard to explain it. Like you can do an asymmetrical 4-2-3-1. Like there's so much you can do with it. And there's not much I can say bad about it.
It's the flexibility that you're talking about. You do a lot in that framework.
Yeah, I mean, I like a lot of. I mean, I like that I can play the other formations out of it. So
yeah,
that's why I like it. It's a good formation just to start with anyway.
So you like flexibility from your formation. Is that something that you also look for in players when you try to, fill out the starting 11? Is flexibility a big thing that goes into that decision?
Yeah, I really, I was a forward when I played, but I like to start from the back, and I look for flexibility. Yeah, but if you're good at your craft at your position, I have total respect for that. So I really try to piece together the best at that position if I can. But on defense, I think in the midfield, I think flexibility is important. I think if you can play along the midfield, either you're on the outside or the inside, you can play both. That's very valuable to me. I think defensively, I think it's a little bit more rigid in the back line, but everywhere else, I think flexibility is important.
Got some more questions coming in
Okay.
here. What is your coaching style? That's kind of open-ended, and we talked a little bit about it, but what would you say your coaching style
Like,
is?
would you say, like, is that more like a personality, like how I approach players, or the way I want to play?
I'd say the way you want to play. We talked about how you interact with players a little
Okay.
bit more.
I really, honestly, I change it up. I mean, I coach Romeo High School, and we play very direct, very defensive, and I'm not afraid to tell people I play direct, which is that word long ball that people are afraid to say. I've played possession with certain teams. It's all on who you have. I'm a firm believer in figuring out that equation for each game. I mean, if a team's playing with a high line, you're not going to be able to possess it with 22 guys on half of the field. You're going to have to go long. If the other team's dropping back, you got room to possess, then I want to possess the ball and keep possession. So I really think mixing it up is important. I don't want to say hate. When people talk to me about a system like the Barcelona old system where it's all tiki-taka. I don't believe in that because eventually someone's going to sort you out. You have to be able to play anyway. And,
Right.
Alex Ferguson back in the day, he always used to talk about that. Like, there's games I'm going to put Rooney up top with Giggs, and we're just going to launch that ball over the top. And there's games that we're going to control the tempo. And I just think that comes with knowing your opponent, knowing what you have on your personnel, and then making that logical decision come game day.
How difficult can that be at this level when you don't necessarily have a whole lot of film or scouting information to work off of?
I think when you're looking at this level with the team that we brought in, I think we're a team that can control the tempo. So I think anyone does. I mean, if you watch the pros, it's the same thing. I would start the game 4-2-3-1, maybe start a little defensive just to feel out the game for 10 minutes and then make that adjustment moving forward. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And when people say, "Oh, when I watch the World Cup," when you watch the World Cup, I mean, all the games are 1-0 and 2-1.
Yeah.
I think they always start cautious and then you kind of play your way into the game. So I think at that level, yeah, it's definitely harder because that scouting report is hard. But once you play those first games, I think you'll have an idea where I'm going to be. So
is it fair to say that it's more about your team and what you guys have and what you're doing as opposed to, figuring out what other teams are doing?
I agree. I think so. Yeah. I mean, after you play them the first round of games, then you can add that into the equation. But I think right away you just have to see where your team's at. You can't have fear. So
got some more questions coming in. Somebody wants to know, because it's a summer season and it's going to be even shorter than normal, how do you plan on getting everybody back together, back on the same page, and in a quick amount of time getting them back game ready for the season that's coming? Okay.
So I think it's going to be a little difficult, but I think everyone has the same problem. I'm definitely, I've reached out a couple of times on WhatsApp with my team. We are all on a chat and sent them some workouts that they should be doing from U.S. soccer and U.S. futsal, just to kind of give them something to do. And then, once we kind of get an idea of when this is going to all start, I'm definitely going to talk to these guys more personally on Zoom, things like that. But that's all really we can do. I mean, a lot of these guys are playing in college and they take it seriously. So I think it's important to show faith in them and that they're going to be ready to go. I mean, they have college careers as well. And I believe in the people I picked that are going to be ready to go. And all it's going to come down to is just to get to know each other a little bit better. I think in regards to being fit and ready to go, I don't think we're having an issue. I think I got a solid group of young men that know what to do.
Vegeta 2009 wants to know, are you planning to rock the goatee all season long?
Vegeta, man, Dragon Ball Z drop. I like it. Is it the Vegeta with the little eye thing or the Vegeta without the eye? Because I like the one with the eye sensor over his eye.
We'll have to ask.
We'll have to ask him. I do appreciate that name though. The goatee. Depends how long my wife will put up with me. Maybe not this thick. I usually thin it out, but I kind of grew it out. I just shaped it up a little bit, but yeah, I'll probably be rocking it. 90% I'll be rocking it. I like the name Vegeta.
Yeah, Vegeta, let us know exactly what version you are.
Yeah, I would love to know, actually.
Jones wants to know, who is your favorite professional player of all time? I know we talked a little bit about that before we came on. And then also wants to know your favorite all-time professional team.
Wow. All right, favorite all-time player is Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Hands down, the guy's an absolute beast. Yeah, he can be cocky, but the guy is 38 years old and he is unbelievable.
That's why you like him, right? It's the cockiness, and he's still through after all these years.
The guy has been, I think a big one for him. I think he was kind of just, when he scored those 4 goals against England and hit that bicycle from 35 out, I mean, people were all talking about it, and like he was like 30 years old at the time. I'm like, man, this guy's been good for since like the early 2000s. But I just think the longevity is impressive. And 38 years old, you're still playing at a high level. I mean, he came to MLS and it was just a joke, wasn't it? I mean, he was just dominating. And
I want to ask you, why do you think he came to MLS?
I think he wanted to come to America, see something different. I mean, he likes challenges. And I think he surprised himself, to be honest. I'm surprised he went back to Europe.
Yeah.
But I just like it. I mean, he went to England at 35 and scored 19 goals, 18 goals. It's pretty impressive. I mean, he's been a top 5 striker for probably 15 years. I think that's it depends on what your criteria is of how good someone is. But I think when someone can play for 15 years and be known as one of the top players in the world, that's pretty impressive.
Do you think he maybe doesn't get the credit that others deserve because he hasn't really shown in a World Cup?
He played for Sweden, so I think you got to give him the pass.
Yeah.
I think
So that's what I mean. Like, does that contribute to the reason why people don't maybe?
I mean, I think most, I don't know what people will say, but I think most would say you got Messi, Ronaldo, and I think Zlatan's right in that next echelon. So I think he just got unlucky with some of the 2 best players you'll ever see.
Yeah.
Which they're awesome too. And then favorite team of all time. Wow. That is a very tough. Mitch, you gotta help me. Is it club or international? Give me at least that genre.
Club. Let's go club.
Best club team of all time.
Who are some of the most entertaining teams that you can
I'd
remember?
say AC Milan in the mid 2000s with Carlo Ancelotti. They had Shevchenko and Pirlo and Gattuso. I thought they were pretty impressive. Inter Milan that won the Champions League against Barca with Mourinho and Eto'o and those guys. They weren't the most entertaining, but they were just a great team. Man U, the Man U years with Ferguson, Ferdinand Vidic. Those are like really the teams that kind of stick out to me. Barca, Madrid. I just don't like Barca, so I'm just not going to talk about them. I'm not a big fan. Galacticos, Zidane, Figo, Ronaldo, the real Ronaldo, original Ronaldo, Beckham, Roberto Carlos. I mean, I could keep naming. That team was just filthy. They're unbelievable. I will do one more shout out. Rivaldo, most underrated player of all time. Rivaldo is a beast.
Okay. I'll allow that. Yeah. Dio wants to know, would you rather have your players come to you with a background in karate or ballet if you had to choose one of the two? Karate, why?
Just think you need instincts, like quick thinking, instincts, and just a little bit more toughness. I mean, I'm sure ballet people are tough, but maybe not as tough as karate people.
Yeah, maybe not. I think that's probably safe to say. Let's see, what else do we have here? Let's go back to a couple more questions that I had. What are you most looking forward to personally as you take this next step in your career?
I'm looking forward to the challenge and to be tested. I mean, the guys that I'll be coaching are guys that have been how do I say this? Very high protection players. They've been some of the best players in the state of Michigan. And yes, it's really easy to be authoritarian and tough, but when you have players that know how to play, that have been the man in their respective teams, I think there comes that push-pull that you have to find that middle ground and common ground with. And I'm really excited to use my personality as a soccer player and understand them from that and challenge myself on how do I handle these guys? They're not high school kids. They're grown men that some of them have pro aspirations, right? So
yeah,
I'm excited for that part of my career just to see how I handle that. And, I like to think I will handle it, but I just want to say I'm excited for that challenge. And it's different than coaching younger kids or just strictly college kids. Just you're looking at guys that have been doing it for a while. And you have to step up your game as a coach. You can't have off days with guys like that. So I'm excited to really stay focused and be on the ball.
What do you think is more valuable at this level? Those guys with experience or those guys with a little bit higher potential?
I think you need a little bit of both. I think experience is important, but also fitness is important. And I know guys that are in their mid-20s are working and doing other things, so fitness becomes a problem.
Yeah.
It's nothing against them. It just that's fact of life. I mean, I'm 40 pounds heavier than I was in college, so I get it. So I think it's good to have that mix of guys that have been around the block, but also the guys in college are very important because they're fit and they're in the flow of things. They're in that pace of the game, but you can't count out the guys with experience because you give them 2 weeks of practice and they're going to acclimate. It's just going to come down to how fit can they stay in the off season.
Let's see, what else do we have from some people watching on Twitch? Sterling Cooper 7 wants to know, with the recent closure of the U.S. Development Academy, how do you think that will affect development and quality of the players at the youth level, especially being a former high school coach?
I played in an era where there was no academy, and I thought it was fine. I'm kind of lukewarm on it, to be honest. I don't want to say the wrong thing here, but if you're good, you're good. And
Yeah.
I think the speed of the game has improved with this generation, but I think, and I hope it doesn't get blow-ups here, but I think technically it's not as good as it used to be. So what's wrong with having club teams and ODP being the main focus of bringing the best kids in each state together and making a national team and having the clubs do the training, and not just 3 clubs in each state in the country having that grasp on everybody? Why can't there be more competition? Why does it only have to be club X and Y? Why can't it be clubs A through Z that all have good players? And then you have a thing like ODP that kind of brings all those good players together. So honestly, it's good for high school. I mean, you're going to have more of the quality players coming back. That's fantastic. I mean, I can't tell you how many academy players I've talked to that they're walking on at a respective school, and I'm like, could have played high school and walked on somewhere. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's tough because, like I said, I'm really good friends with a lot of guys at the Nationals, and they've done an amazing job with their DA team. So I'm just, it's an opinion, but they've also done amazing things with it, right? But it's nice to see that state cup will matter again. That the state cup is actually a state cup instead of, it's the state cup, but there's no academy players.
Right.
Well, I'm pretty freaking excited that state cup actually matters. That's pretty cool. So, has the U.S. soccer gotten any better from 2000 to 2018? Last time I checked, they didn't even qualify for the World Cup, but their best World Cup was in 2002. So what really changed? The women are still as good as they always been. So how much actually changed with that academy? I don't know, not much. But I've seen good stuff too with it. You know what I mean? It's a hard question, but it's a good question. So I don't know if that really answered it, but I'm kind of in the middle on it.
It is one of those issues. It's like you could go either way. You hear a lot of hot opinions on both sides, and it's kind of just a matter of opinion. Depends on What is one thing that you wish you could change about American soccer since we've sort of started down this lane?
I think American soccer started down this trail, but one thing I would change is definitely, I'm going to do 2 things because I think these 2 things are pretty cool. Definitely playing small-sided at a higher age. And I know they went down to 10v10 or 9v9 at 13 or 12, but I'd go 8v8 till they're 13. Personally, I think it helps the technical end of the game, and it's just my opinion. Doesn't have to say I agree with it. That's what I think. And then
you mentioned just a little bit earlier that players are maybe more athletic, but not as technically gifted.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean,
I,
I can see what
yeah.
you're saying. Like the
Yeah. I just think they should have the ball more. I mean,
exactly.
and I know we've been doing better at it, so I don't really want to comment badly because I think it's improving compared to when I played. But I mean, the game's way faster. The pace is way better. Kids are more fit. Kids are working out. Kids are faster, stronger. So I think the technical part's gone, but I think the speed of play is way better. It's fast. The game's way faster than when I played. So, and then the second thing would be when you're doing ODP, like the state team, I think that there should be unbiased coaches grading these players. So the coaches from Michigan should go to Ohio, and the Ohio coaches should go to Michigan.
Yeah.
And they, like have an unbiased view. So it's not like Vardar, Hawks, Nationals, Michigan Jaguars coaches picking. What if there's a kid from, Midland Fusion that's really good?
Right.
Well, why don't they deserve to play? I just think there should be an unbiased coaching situation. I think that would really change things. I think that would be a huge game changer.
That's a great point.
Those are my two things that would change.
What are a couple of tips and tricks for young players, young guys who might be watching, trying to take the next step in their career, whether it's make a high school team, try to go play somewhere in college, whatever it might be? What are some tips you would give to some younger players?
I'm going to keep it really, really simple. Jeff Hodgson is the one that told me this one is the more you touch the ball, the better you're going to be. Just always have that ball with you. I know it sounds so stupid when someone says, oh, just kick that ball against the wall. I don't mean that, but if you watch Aaron Bird on Instagram, these kids, they're training every day, just perfecting their craft. And I think when you have that, when you do that, your touch is going to get better because you're constantly touching the ball. Take it with you anywhere. You're going to a park, take it with you. You're going to your brother's soccer game, take it with you. Anywhere you go, just take the ball with you. And then secondly, it's 3 words: fitness, and fitness. I tell my high school kids that all the time. I tell kids you get 3 months before a season starts, right? Like in the summer, you're not really playing. If you run a mile every day for 90 days, that's 90 miles. That's 6 to 7 minutes of your life. And if you did that every day, you would run 90 miles over your summer. And you come into the season ready to go. And that's if you run just one. If you ran 2 miles, that's like 12 minutes of your day. You do that, it's 180 miles, and you go right into your season, you're ready to go. It's really simple. I just think people just forget that the simple things, just simple hard work will really get where you need to be. But I know it sounds really simple, but I really mean that. It's just those 2 things are so important in being a better player. And the last thing I'll leave that question with would be just be a better student of the game. I used to talk to kids that play, on the outside mid. When I was a right mid, I would always see if the left back was left-footed or right-footed. Because if they're a right-footer playing left back, you can attack that weak foot. And I would just take them down the line every time because they have to turn on their weak foot.
Exactly.
Be a better student of what's going on the field. Okay, that center back, this center back likes to jump for the headers. The other center back likes to drop back. So that center back doesn't like to challenge the ball. Just seeing little things. I think those 3 things can make you a better player.
Got another question. This one's from Barca Bradford 92. He wants to know, what badges do you have and how does coaching education impact your coaching style?
Barca Bradford. I like Barca. I like Bradford too. That's Northern England, I think. Barca Bradford. It's a good connection. I have just a basic D license. I mean, there's people that have higher licenses than me. I also have, which doesn't matter here in the United States, UEFA B, which is like when I was over in Sweden, I got a UEFA youth license where you coach like the youth academies at the pro clubs. And I also have advanced diploma, national diploma. I think, and every one of them is different. I mean, if we're going to talk about that, I think here in America, you go to a class for a week and you get your license. Does that make you a good coach? I know coaches that got C licenses that are better than coaches with A licenses. I kind of like the national diploma classes better because I think there's more open-mindedness in the classes, where USSF is kind of just, this is how we do things.
Yeah.
And then in Europe, I did about, I think it was 160 hours to get that license working at a pro club. So I think the experience is more important. And
yeah,
but I think it made me well-rounded. I mean, I definitely want to go get my C license. It just time, right? I'm not gonna lie, I got a job, I got other things going on, but
yeah,
I think how it affects my style is I think I'm pretty well-rounded. I think I've had experiences with 3 different organizations that give licenses. So I think learning from each of those, you can take a little bit from everything, and it makes me a better coach. So yes, there's certain drills that they kind of knock into your head, and yeah, some of them are awesome and they make you a better coach. There's no doubt about it. And then you meet coaches at these places and they give you other ideas. In Europe, it's a whole different thing. It's very about the long game. So about development, and they don't really keep score over there at the younger ages. And you kind of just take all that and you just kind of put it all together and go from there. I mean, I don't know how else to answer it. I think it just makes me a more well-rounded coach from what I experienced. But I definitely want to increase my USSF stuff because I think that's the only way you can improve your career. So that's the next step.
Johnson. All right, we're going to go to a quick ad and then we'll be right back. Hey, County fans, welcome back to OCFC Happy Hour with Coach Vinnie. Glad you could join us here on this beautiful Friday night. Vinnie, let's keep the questions rolling. Johnson 5222 has a scenario for you.
Okay.
Says OCFC is down 2-1 with 5 minutes to play.
Okay.
Wants to know, what do those last 5 minutes look like?
Probably a 4-2-4. Either a 4-2-4 or a 3-4-3.
Is it a lot of long balls into the box? Hopeful.
Yep. Well, we got Big Mike. We got Mike Melinari. So, Mike, if you're listening, that's pretty much the game plan if we're down.
Well, we saw it work a couple of times for County last year with some late goals and pretty much using that exact strategy.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's not much you can do at that point. You just got to get them, pump the ball up and see what happens.
We'll never be down 2-1 with 5 minutes left anyway.
With the back line, the guys on the back line, I've talked major game about you guys. So,
okay,
be down.
Can't wait to
be down 2-1.
Let's see. Rasta Pasta Chives wants to know, do you want to consider doing coaching in the long term?
I mean, I'm always going to coach, whether it's youth, high school, this. I mean, I've talked to Nick and Theo quite a bit. I mean, I'd love to do this as long as I can do it. So I think it's always just going to be in my system. As a total profession, I mean, it just depends. I mean, I think Oakland County is a great opportunity, and if I can do great here, I mean, I would really love to help grow this club and do better. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's always going to be in my life. Can't take soccer out of me. Can't ask my wife that.
She's tried.
Yeah, she's tried. No, she hasn't tried. She knows she can't.
What is your ultimate goal at OCFC?
Ultimate goal, I think, would be being a contender. I think, we got the Michigan, Flint City Bucks, who are universally recognized as the best team in Michigan. Sorry, DCFC.
Yeah,
sorry.
Right or wrong, that's what they're known as.
Yeah, sorry, DCFC and everybody else, but that's what they're universally recognized as. So They're a great team, and I would like to compete with them, and be realistic and say, hey, in the next couple of years, if we can challenge for that division title, that'd be pretty sweet. And if you don't have that goal, then I don't know what we're all doing here. I don't even know why we're running this whole show right now if that's not our goal. So I'm gonna do the best I can to get there.
Does having Flint City Bucks in the division, a team like that, as you say, is known really all around the country as a big hitter, does that make it more fun for you playing the underdog, trying to get up to that level?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good challenge. I mean, they've been around for a long time, and they've always had a great reputation. I have nothing but respect. Yeah, it's a rivalry. There is respect there, and yeah, I just think it makes me grind hard. I mean, if you ask Nick and Theo, I've been grinding all winter, just talking to players, doing what I have to do, driving places. That's what you have to do to compete with people like that. They had a nice system set up, and if you try to sit back and be complacent and just say, "Oh, I'll call these guys and see if they'll come," well, guess what? The Flint City Bucks call, they're probably going to go there. So you have to go see them face to face, have conversations, and get to know them on a personal level, or you're out of luck. So I think it really encouraged that grind mentality of let's go out and find players. Let's go look at other. Hey, it's not all Division I guys. You can go to Division II, NAIA. There's some very good players. So we just did a lot of grinding and scouting, and I honestly, the team we picked this year, I really think could challenge anybody. I really do. I think it would come down to chemistry, but player for player, I would not want to play Oakland County this year. I would not.
What makes our club different from others that you've seen or worked with in the past?
I think we're a very fun club. We do a lot of fun stuff, and very grassroots oriented. I think it's fantastic. I love that aspect. I love the fact that this just started from nothing, like not nothing, but it's kind of like planting a seed and it just bloomed and still blooming. It's like a tulip that's like, and still trying to like be one of those. Tulip. What am I? How come a rose that's like there and just like, now I have to go like that, and we just have fun, and the conversations are always fun. I love talking to people I'm working with. It just, I've known Nick and Theo for over 15 years. So it's just friends with a common goal, with a passion. And, you got Dan Rowland, you got you guys over here I'm talking to. Like, it's just a great feeling to work with good people and people that care. And I think that, I'm sure other clubs care. I just think we have a fun aspect to it.
Absolutely. I know for my money, that's what I try to do, is have fun. And
yeah,
obviously this is something that we all care about, or like you said, why would we be doing it? So it is very nice to work with people who share a passion and, you get along with and can have fun with.
Mm-hmm.
Give us an idea what a normal training would look like, or what a normal week would look like.
Okay, so training during the week, we got 5 coaches on staff. Goalies would start getting ready 15 minutes before practice, 10-15 minutes of conditioning, and then we break the practice up in 3. There'll be defending, midfield, striking, and finishing. And each assistant would take each group. And then obviously you got the transition players like holding mid that can play defense, or a defender that can play midfield.
Yeah.
And the coaches would determine how we do that. So each of those 3, and we go through what we need to do for that day, and I would oversee those 3 sessions going on, get through what we have to get through that day, whatever it is, 25, 35 minutes, and we play. And you fight for your freaking spot. That's what you do. So I really got that from Europe. When I was in Europe back in 2010, that's really how they did training. It was set up by position, and then you kind of bring the session together. Everyone does their job, then you throw in like a possession drill with everybody, and then you turn it into a full game. So really dividing up the team and then bring it all together at the end, and then just fighting for your spot, because that's what you have to do. That's life. That's the real world. So
yeah, those were always the most fun practices from when I was playing whatever sport it was. scrimmaging, just getting to compete instead of just going through drills.
Yeah.
That's awesome. In your mind, what are ideal playing conditions? Is it a nice sunny, clear day? Is it a downpour? Is there snow?
70 and sunny.
Sunny?
70 and sunny. That's what I want. It won't happen in the summer, but that's what I want. Just a sunny day. I'm okay with a sunny day. Sunny day, no wind.
This, I don't know. You might have a strong opinion on this. I know a lot of people do. Nike or Adidas?
I'm going to preface this by saying right now I own a pair of Nike shoes, but Adidas.
Okay. What's your favorite sport other than soccer?
American football.
How'd you get into American football?
My whole life, I just love watching the Lions, even though they suck. Grew up. I was little. I was in first grade, but Barry Sanders. I grew up watching Barry Sanders, so it's pretty sweet. And I mean, who doesn't love football? Come on, fantasy football. I mean, I'm in like 3 leagues. I love everything about it. I love watching Michigan. Me and my brother go to Michigan games in the fall. So I love the atmosphere. I love the strategy behind it. I love Madden.
Andreas wants to know, we talked a little bit about pizza earlier, but Andreas wants to know, what's been your go-to meal during the lockdown?
Andreas, my man, how are you? Go-to meal. I mean, I've used DoorDash quite a bit. Go-to. I'm going to have to say Totino's Pizza Rolls. I'm going to have to say I was grinding, but Totino's Pizza Rolls, man. If they're available, that's what I'm eating. No, I mean, I like to smoke, like barbecue a lot, so I smoke brisket. I smoked some smoked mozzarella. Made a lot of paninis, but hey, Totino's Pizza Rolls, man, you can't beat it. I don't care. They're amazing.
Oh man, I have to say I wasn't anticipating that answer.
I mean, I eat other things, but he asked for the go-to, specifically go-to.
That's
so
fair.
Go-to. I mean, I don't go to brisket on the go-to, but I've been cooking a lot. I do a lot of cooking at home. I enjoy cooking. So, but if you're asking for my go-to, it's Totino's Pizza Rolls.
Nick wants to know, what is your personal preparation for games? How do you mentally get into the zone to be able to go manage a soccer match?
Usually the night before, I kind of just go through my game plan, which could change, but I go through that. And then, I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. Whenever it's a game day, I like barely feel like working that day. To be quite honest with you, I'm just like, it's game day. When is 5 o'clock happening? When is 7 o'clock happening? I just think about it all day long. I kind of do it like when I was a soccer player. I just get my car and I put my music at volume 40, full blast, and I play whatever I'm feeling. If it's Tupac that day, then Tupac's rocking. If it's old school rock, then I got Ram Jam, Black Betty rocking. I just get lost in the music and I just get focused and pumped up. Honestly, it's kind of funny, but I just get lost in the music. I like EDM, so I play a lot of Armin van Buuren. I'll play that before a game. And just on my way there, I'm just thinking about the game and listening to music.
Okay. Just kind of zone out then.
Yeah.
Let's see. We've got a couple more questions that are coming in. I know we're getting close to 9 o'clock, so we want to wrap it up
Okay.
shortly, but we've got a few more questions to roll through. Let's see. Sven wants to know, he's not sure if this has been asked. We've talked about it a little bit. It seems like the players are mostly staying in shape on their own, but what kind of workouts or training sessions have you sent to them, or what kind of conversations have you had with them about staying in shape during this?
I really just sent like a workout thing from US Soccer that the guys do, just whether it's push-up workout, burpees, certain weight lifting things, conditioning, just a mix of everything. I mean, yeah, we touched on that a bit, didn't we? That's pretty much what it was. And really, it's some of the guys already have their routine, which is amazing. So I just said, hey, if you don't have one, this is a good one. A lot of them are like, hey, coach, I'm doing this. So I'm like, hey, that's great. Hey, you got to trust the players a little bit if they're going to do what they're going to do.
Exactly. Rasta Pasta Chives wants to know, what team building activities do you like to do?
I like bowling.
You a good bowler, or
I'm awful. I don't put my
the bumpers
fingers
up for
in
you?
the 3 holes, and I just try to do that curve thing. And I think I did have a good night once. I bowled a 160 once, and I was pretty happy with myself.
That's respectable.
But the last few times I've been averaging about $120. It's not very good.
The way I
But
see it, as long as you hit triple digits, you're okay.
that's what I'm saying. So I think it's just fun, it's just goofy. That's good team building, and definitely, hopefully, definitely barbecue at my house. Have everyone. I love having my players at my house, just to see me in my normal way, not just
Yeah.
in coaching, just to relax a little bit.
Yeah. Let's see. Dan White Evans, we were talking about music, so he wants to know, what's your guilty pleasure song?
Oh, man, I'm about to release this to the world. I don't know if I want to do that. Celine Dion, Because I Loved You.
Oh, man. I mean, if you're going to go with one.
Ever. It's Whitney, it's Celine, and it's everybody else. End of discussion.
If you're going to go with one, that's not a bad one to go with.
Those are the top 2 ever. So.
What else do we have here? What is your favorite memory? This is Jones wondering, what is your favorite memory as a soccer player and your favorite memory as a soccer coach?
Whew. Soccer player, I have a lot. Man, so many. I would have to say I'm gonna do 2 of them just because it's too hard. And now I'm old, so there's kind of forget. I'll just name a couple off. Definitely winning state cup my last year in club, because I went to 3 of them and lost all 3 of them. Into my last one. Definitely going to Sweden and playing in Sweden. That was one of the best experiences of my life. And playing with my best buddies, Nick Drescher, we played college together. We were in Tiffin, Ohio. Wasn't much going on, but I loved playing with one of my best friends. He's a great guy, and I loved playing with him. Best memory as a coach. I gotta say, I mean, I went to Eisenhower and I coach at Romeo, and I beat Eisenhower, and it was the first time we beat him in like 30 years. And I got a letter from Peter Lucido, our congressman. And I gotta say, that's probably the best moment. But our team did not play very well. We scored a goal off a corner kick. I had 9 guys on the goal line, and we just bent it in, and we scored, and everyone rushed the field, and that was pretty awesome. So
the letter from the congressman definitely counts.
I do love Ike, but that was a big one for us. So,
man, talk a little bit about playing in Sweden. What were some of those highlights? Some maybe a fun experience that you had over there. Some things that you brought back.
So I played in the 3rd division, which is pretty good. But I mean, there's people that have done better. But I think it was a great experience. The speed of play, when you do the 5 versus 2 in a circle?
Yeah.
Yeah, the 2 never touched the freaking ball. Because I'm like playing, I'm like, yeah, you go in for 3 minutes, then we switch. I go, what if I win the ball? He's like, why would you? It's 5-2. I'm like, well, I lose the ball the freaking time with my friends. No, the lack of mistakes they make it's unbelievable. My highlights were, I played in a few reserve games, which was pretty cool. I got to play, and in a setting where I didn't think I was going to play. Actually making the team was pretty cool. And the coach telling me that I had one of the hardest shots he's ever seen. That was like his favorite thing about me. And I was like, all right, cool. I have a hard shot at a professional level. That's pretty cool. Yeah. It's very humbling, and it helps me guide other players when I meet them of how hard it is to make it. I mean, in Michigan, it's Justin Merrim. That's the player that made it. And there's not many, but he's someone that, man, that kid, Justin Merrim works so much harder than I even worked, and I worked my ass off. But Justin Merrim's the hardest worker you'll ever meet, and the guy is still playing pro to this day. He's at Real Salt Lake now in the MLS, but he's a good friend of mine, family. To be honest, he's family to me. And I'm sure he learned the same thing. Just very humbling. And the fact that you can go there and experience it is unbelievable. It really taught me a lot as a soccer player.
All right, we've got just a couple of minutes left, so I'm going to hit you with the last question of the night.
Okay.
Just kind of tell us what you're most looking forward to. This is your moment with the fans. Let them know what you have to say.
I'm just looking forward to, meeting everybody again. As the Ollies, I had a great time meeting everybody. We had great conversations, and I'm just excited to be part of the whole thing, honestly. Regardless of how all this goes down with all the negativity with the virus right now, I'm very committed to this project, and I'm just excited to be part of it. Honestly, I wish I could say something more. I'm just excited to be part of it, and I'm going to give you guys everything I can give you my best. And honestly, that's all I can say. Hopefully that's enough. But honestly, I'm just looking forward to the whole experience.
Yeah, we're certainly excited to have you along. Looking forward to this summer. Hopefully we get to play. Thanks so much for joining us here tonight on OCFC Happy Hour with Coach Vinnie. We might be able to do this again, possibly, if we get some more questions.
No.
No? Once is enough?
No, let me know, I said.
Oh, let me know. Okay, good. Well then, we are closing out. Vinnie, thanks again. Everyone have a great weekend.
Great weekend.